डावोस डायरी 2022 में आप सभी का स्वागत है। हम लगातार आपके लिए टॉप इंडिया इंक वॉइसेस लेकर आ रहे हैं और इस वक्त मेरे पास टेक्नोलॉजी के लीडर फ्रॉम इंडिया, यस आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट HCL Tech and I have with me the CTO of the company, Mr. B. Kalyan Kumar. KK, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And lovely to have you and here at HCL at the Promenade. सबसे पहले तो किस तरीके का रिस्पांस मिल रहा है from people who are coming and talking to you? इंडिया को कैसे देखा जा रहा है इस बार?
See, अगर आप if you even walk down this pavilion, the whole stretch in the promenade, आप देखोगे कि the presence of India is amazing. If you see anywhere, you will not stumble and fall off anywhere finding two things. One is an India pavilion from either one of the states or one of the large Indian tech companies. And the second thing which I'm very interested about is crypto here. Seems to be every second house has a crypto currency की यहाँ पर काफ़ी ज़्यादा visibility है.
Visibility, एकदम. I mean, technology and India, I think we go hand in hand, and now especially जब हमने last 2 साल में कैसे technology adopt की, and India has shown, and Indian companies have shown their leadership in that space. कैसे देख रहे हैं अब आगे with what will be the role of India in that space in the global setup, और company like yours, आपका कहाँ पर ज़्यादा focus और presence होगा?
So if you आप अगर देखो from an Indian company perspective, till now for the last 20-25 years, the majority of the focus has been कि India is delivering services to the world, correct? हम दुनिया भर की IT को enable कर रहे थे और engineering services from an HCL standpoint हम काफ़ी engineering services की भी काम करते हैं. पर in the last few years, if you really see what's happened is the adoption of technology in India, हमारी country में local consumption of adoption of technology, the digitalization, the rate of pace of digitalization. मैं 2 साल के बाद pandemic के बाद when I was in India, I was really surprised the adoption of phone-based pay. Cash is completely gone and everything is coming back to the phone, which is a real power of the underlying infrastructure being built with UID and a lot of the other pieces, correct? So I think the fundamentals building block for technology adoption in the country काफ़ी अच्छी हो गई है. इसमें 2 important factors which I think is needed. One is how could large Indian companies adopt the same level of sophistication जो आपके global companies करती हैं. That is one thing which is needed. Second is if you see our software business, we have a very large customer base in India. Large banks, large public sector, governments. So from an HCL software standpoint, ये इतनी important है कि we will continue to drive adoption of all the latest and newer technologies. And from things like adoption of cloud is like taken for granted. अभी तो and India has shown a good example to the world that you could leapfrog a complete technology generation by just going into the cloud. And India has been a best example of cloud and SaaS, and this large Indian companies, software companies, including us, are now enabling software completely native on the cloud. So I think वो काफ़ी बड़ी factor है.
Achievement भी है for a country like ours. But talk about the future, and हम बात कर रहे हैं cloud की, artificial intelligence, digital contracts. Now everything is being driven.
Smart contracts.
Smart contracts. Everything is getting smarter. कैसे देखें the growth, the opportunities, and that translating to real business. मैं आपसे जानना चाहूँगी किस तरीके की growth projection है for the company? What kind of deal pipeline do you have right now?
देखो, I think you were there in our investor day. So आपको और plus हमारी guidance काफ़ी आपने देखी होगी. Our CEO has given the guidance. So we are sticking to what the guidance has been given. But I think there is opportunities immense. I think the most important, I would say, the inhibitor in this whole is talent. अगर आप देखो the currently just the sheer backlog of all the demands put together, how fast we can get more and more people. We had some very interesting discussions with the different state ministers yesterday. We had an opportunity to meet some of the very young ministers who were all around.
Yes.
The single biggest thing हम ये सोच रहे हैं कि हमारी country में talent capacity है. How do you start? How do you build capability? कि हम कितनी जल्दी से यहाँ पर लोगों को skilling कर सकें. And obviously the demand is no more. जैसे मैंने पहले कहा था कि the total demand was initially servicing the global markets. अभी क्या हो गया, domestic market की जो demand है, correct? वो उसको भी fulfill करना पड़ रहा. So hence the talent is a big factor. So I think we need more people, and people are watching the show. I think the demand side is pretty good.
Demand में तो कमी आएगी भी नहीं.
I think the key is how do we make sure we are able to skill more and more people. And I think it's not important कि आप सिर्फ computer science करो, correct? anyone if you're doing mechanical engineering, do mechanical and software. If you're doing electrical engineering, do electrical and software.
Times have changed. वो पहले की तरह नहीं.
पहले क्या था कि आप computer science करो, नहीं अभी I think everything is becoming tech enabled.
Absolutely.
Correct? And that means that हमारे को blend of skills चाहिए. आप एक अच्छे artist हो, learn graphic design and become a UX person.
Yes.
So blending is going to be important. So इसकी ये मतलब नहीं है कि everyone should go and do computer science. Correct? I think it's a blend of multiple skills is equally important. I think people love computer science, Matt should continue to do that.
Sure.
ये दो काफी important
मेरा आखिरी सवाल, as a technology head of the company, क्या आपके big KRAs होंगे? What is it that you are watching out for? Talent, of course, आपने बात की, but from the M&A standpoint, do you think कि हमें और technology acquire करनी चाहिए? नए startups आ रहे हैं. HCL ने, of course, in the past has done many acquisitions, but कोई specific area, कोई specific vertical जहाँ आपको लगता है you need more, opportunities to buy out?
See, I think as we laid out in our even the investor day last week, correct? Our plan is continuing to start looking at both organic and inorganic. We'll continue to take a look at that. Okay. See, I think the focus is going to be around how do you create an ecosystem. Right. I think ये बड़ी important चीज़ है, and we use a strategy called build, buy and ally.
Correct.
हम ये बोलते हैं कि build करो, जब whenever we could build whatever we could build. You buy where you need pointed capabilities, and we'll continue to start looking at. And third important thing is extremely important हमारे लिए, which is our ecosystem strategy. Correct. Is about how do you partner with the large cloud hyperscalers, the tech OEM ecosystems, the telco ecosystems, the SaaS ecosystems.
So all will go hand in hand.
Hand in hand. But I think the 5 big things which we are seeing, which is going to be in the next half decade, and you are seeing this significantly, is एक तो ये cloud adoption will become mainstream significantly. It's going to accelerate, and I think 5G and beyond is going to be another important thing. Third is this whole experience-centric metaverse and a lot of those pieces is going to be. We're showcasing a complete metaverse experience in our pavilion.
We'll definitely catch that. Yeah.
And I think the whole shift towards sustainability, green, is becoming a very, very important piece for us.
Absolutely.
Or kal our chairperson is launching this whole aquapreneur initiative, which is going to be an important piece. And the last and the most important thing, I think, is this whole distributed economy, decentralization, distributed ledger. ये जो सारी technologies which will enable Web 3.0 is going to be important. And my favorite, which I think will really transform, is the quantum computing, which I hope at some point in time it will start to realize and go some.
This thing. All right. Thank you very much, KK. Lovely to have you, and all the best.
Thank you.